March 5th, 2018, not March 3rd, as my email said, but nevertheless, we are here. Thank you so much for joining us this week. I guess let's get right down to the good stuff. Friends of Mozilla for this week. Big props to tech speakers Karsten, Shushtika, Flocky, and Bob for talks delivered over the last week in Germany, Finland, Iceland, and the Philippines. One of those actually at JSConf Iceland, which I heard was a great event. Big thank you to everyone for going out there and talking about all the good stuff. Thanks, tech speakers. And a huge thank you to Michael Kohler and Fasbalaji for the pull requests for the Reps portal. If you want to learn more about that, there's a link to the discourse post talking about the changes that they were made. Big thank you for helping us keep that up to date. Hey, I'm going to refresh just to see if anyone else snuck onto the calendar. Nope. But tomorrow, Tuesday, we have a Web Extensions APIs triage, and that starts at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's in the ACE video room. And on Wednesday, we have the add-ons good first bugs triage at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time in the same place. If you're interested in all things add-ons, you may want to check out the details about those meetings and join in. On Wednesday, we also have a monthly speaker series event, and this is Computer Security in the Past, Present, and Future with Mikko Hipponen, and that's here in Mountain View and streamed live on Air Mozilla and simulcast to the YouTube. Security researcher Mikko has been hunting hackers since '91. Join us to hear insights and stories on computer security history. Also tell us where we are today and where we're headed, but how we're going to secure 10 billion new devices that will be going online over the next decade. I know there's all the new security stuff that's come around, all the vulnerabilities and CPUs and stuff will be interesting to hear. Jeff Briner is our host, and I hope you can join live, and if not, it will be recorded. In the evening, on Wednesday, we have the Homebrew Website Club meetup. This week, it is in Nuremberg, Germany, Brighton, England, Baltimore, Maryland, and San Francisco in the Mozilla San Francisco Commons. If you're someone who builds and maintains your own website outside of the content silos that dominate our online life today, this is the meetup for you. There's from 5:30 to 6:30, a quiet writing hour, a little chance to sit with a group of people and just hack on your site and maybe get that blog post out the door or tweak the code for your site or something like that. And the second half is an indie web meetup. People do demos and continue to hack on various different projects around maintaining an independent web. You can click the link for more information, but it's a cool event that you should check out. Going to refresh one more time to see if anything's stuck onto our calendar. Does not look like it. And with that, we have a few presentations today, starting with Zana Marsh talking about the 2018 Global Sprint. Hello.
Hey there. I have some slides.
Yeah, let me pull those up for you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Zana Marsh. I work for the Mozilla Foundation on the Open Leadership and Events team. We're the team that brings you MozFest and the annual Global Sprint, which I am coordinating again this year. As many of you know, the foundation is fueling the movement for an open internet. We connect open internet leaders and mobilize grassroots activists around the world. And the Global Sprint is an opportunity for our network of engineers, designers, researchers, educators, and activists to join together and hack and build on open projects for a better, healthier internet. Next slide. So these are some of the projects from last year's Sprint. And the Sprint is a two-day worldwide hackathon. This year, we're sprinting on May 10th and 11th across all time zones. So we kick off at 9 a.m. in Australia and wrap up on the Pacific coast about 52 hours later. Next slide. 2017 projects range from Internet of Things projects for smart streetlights and veggie gardens to board games about online privacy, to browser extensions that use natural language processing to encourage exposure to different viewpoints online. Next slide. We had over 100 projects at last year's Sprint. Any open project with good documentation, a GitHub repo, and some good first bugs for newcomers can join the Sprint. It's a chance to move your project forward and supercharge it with new energy and insights from contributors. Participants can join at local Sprint sites or virtually from wherever they are. In 2017, we had 65 sites all around the world, from Nepal to Nebraska. Any public place with a workspace and internet access can be a Sprint site. They've popped up at libraries, community centers, schools, and of course, Moz spaces and offices. These are scenes from last year's Sprint. Next slide. The sites are spaces for fun collaboration, networking, community building, snacks, and stickers. They're connected by video to all Sprint sites worldwide. And we are especially looking for hosts at Moz offices this year, so get in touch if you're interested. Participants, whether they sprint from a site or virtually, connect with projects, sharpen their skills, meet new people from around the world, and have the satisfaction of helping to build and protect the open web. Next slide. So you should join the Global Sprint as a participant, a site host, or a project lead. To learn more, visit our website, and we hope to see you at the Sprint. Thank you.
Very cool. Thank you very much. Looking forward to it again this year. All right. Next up, we have Asa with the Firefox roadmap update. I'll make sure I actually have that queued up. I don't know if I did. I did not. Sorry about that.
Thank you, Poch. Quick update today. Firefox 58.0.2 is our latest security and stability update. Firefox 59 is in its 14th beta. That's the final beta with the first release candidate due tomorrow. In the last week, we've uplifted about 15 bugs to Firefox 59. Most of them just kind of last-minute cleanup before the RC, none worth really calling out specifically here. Firefox 60 is in the nightly channel, and it's scheduled to hit release on May 9th. My last update, I said it was May 8th. They've changed that to May 9th, so adjust your calendar if you haven't already. Over the last week, the nightly channel has seen about 510 fixes, including a fix for a 8 or 9-year-old bug that caused long animated images to consume a huge amount of RAM. We were storing the decoded frames for large animations in RAM, and so you could quickly see a large GIF take up hundreds of megabytes or even gigabytes of RAM, and that's been fixed. Also, we have landed a change to distrust semantic search in Firefox 60. You may have noticed that well, I won't call out any particular sites, but sites that you use for your billing aren't working correctly. We're trying to line up with Chrome on this. Chrome is also distrusting semantic around the same time frame. We'd like to hit release at about the same time as them so that sites get updated for both of us in time. We're a little early and nightly compared to Chrome and Canary, so you may see some outages that are expected to be fixed on those websites before we go to beta and certainly before we go to release. That's it for Firefox this week. I'll see you all next week. Thanks.
Thank you, Asa. All right. And next up, we've got Brad Cohen talking about the live IRL podcast. Hello.
Hi. And Pat, you can, if you want to go to the page on that link, we can share that. Look at that. So I wanted to give 2 quick updates related to the IRL podcast, which hopefully everybody has at least heard of and maybe even listened to and possibly subscribed to. But one is there's a new episode out, I believe this morning, about algorithms and about helping people understand not just what algorithms are, but talking about accountability with algorithms, especially in organizations that control algorithms whose results can have important impacts on the people they are meant to serve and help. It's a great episode. I like it a lot. I hope everybody can check it out. Go give it a listen. If you haven't subscribed, go subscribe. If you have subscribed, hey, why not leave us a review on iTunes or other podcatchers that might have that feature? That would be awesome. Secondly, wanted to announce that we're doing another live episode recording, and if you're able to join, we would love to have you there. The link to the Eventbrite page, which has all of the details and where you can get tickets, is in the wiki. And you can, but the basics are that it's Sunday, March 18th, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. in San Francisco at the Commonwealth Club, which is not far from the San Francisco office. It's going to be about basically misinformation, fake news, things like that. Going to cover things from campaign bots to conspiracy videos about how to tell the difference between what's true and not true online. How misinformation is made and how it spreads, and what it takes to fight back. It's going to be a panel discussion plus other fun things. And the panelists are going to be Shira Frankel from the New York Times, also formerly from BuzzFeed, NPR, and other outlets. She covers cybersecurity, has written about Russian bot armies, Facebook news feed and misinformation, cybersecurity around IoT and data privacy, and much, much more. She brings an important journalistic perspective. There's also going to be Justin Kohler, founder of Disinfo Media, who's been called the king of fake news, and is a pretty polemic figure, but one with practical insight into how the industry of fake news actually works. And then Renee DeResta, who is a Mozilla Fellow and a policy lead for Data for Democracy. And she has degrees in computer science and political science, is a former principal at the O'Reilly Alpha Tech Ventures Fund, and co-founder and current manager of growth marketing communications at Haven, which is a tech company for moving containers, actual like real world storage container shipping containers. But she does a ton of work on researching the impact of social network communities on specific policies and political issues, interested in the spread of pseudoscience and the role of automation and bots in mass collective actions. I think it's going to be super fun. We hope you can join us. And the most awesome news of all is that if you can't join us, you can just listen to the podcast when it comes out. Thanks a lot, Patch.
Awesome. Cool event. All right, and next we've got Farmers here in Mountain View with the ET headlines. I'm going to scroll to the right spot. Lots here.
Awesome. Thank you, Patch. Good morning. I have 3 quick updates for you in the world of ET. First, on Project Things, we are continuing to exceed expectations. We've got over 5,000 downloads right now. 125 or so daily active users of our gateway, and so far 40 articles or so mentioning the project anywhere from US to UK, Germany, all over the place. We're trying to keep the engagement going by having a series of hacks that are published on a weekly basis that keeps the community involved and engaged with us. Second piece I have here for you is on Rust. We've published some use case adoptions, and one company in particular, Tild, which is a startup that's working on application performance and monitoring. And by nature, these need to be very fast, efficient, and stable. And so they, I think, played around a lot with Ruby and C++, and finally came to try out Rust, and they love it, and this is one of our success stories that we want to highlight here and have you guys check it out. Last but not least, this week's been, let me get this right, La La Land, or Layout Land. Resilience CSS Week, Layout Land, which is a YouTube channel by our own Jen Simmons, sorry, and there's a bunch of work here highlighting what's possible in graphics design on the web these days, and these are a bunch of brief but very knowledge-packed videos that cover this subject, and we encourage everyone to check these out. Thanks so much. Talk to you guys next week.
Thanks, Farmers. Yeah, That Land's a really cool YouTube channel. It's sort of growing a second CSS-specific outreach channel on YouTube for Mozilla. It's really neat. You should check it out.
Awesome.
And next we've got Michael Van Cleek. Hello.
Hey, Patch. How's it going?
It's going all right.
Awesome. Well, it's great here in Portland. We're in our second week in the new common space. It's fantastic. This is the Weekly Minute, where I bring you weekly updates from Mozilla IT on the things that we're doing to support and empower all of Mozilla in our mission to keep the web a global public resource, open and accessible to all. A couple things this week. First of all, the IT Brown Bags are a 1-hour program on the third Friday of every month, broadcast live at 12 noon Pacific time on Airmo and in the Brown Bags video channel. Next week's program, March 16th, is going to be an hour of lightning talks. It's the first time we're doing this lightning talks format. We're going to be doing that quarterly. And we're looking for suggestions and volunteers to present 5 to 10 minute topics that'll be of interest to an audience that is primarily Mozilla IT, but spans the breadth of Mozilla staff and NDA volunteers. Check out the Lightning Talks Mana page for more information. It's linked from the Weekly Minute update here, or contact me. I'm MVK on Slack. And then the second thing we've got, based on staff and volunteer feedback in Git and in Slack, the IAM project released an improved version of the login experience that you'll use whenever you go to anything like Google Apps, things like that. So you'll now notice that auto login shows which login method you're auto logging in with. All users will get a loading spinner rather than the login form when auto login is being attempted. And auto login is now turned off for passwordless logons. Various UI improvements were deployed into the login experience, including an improved mobile layout and submitting with enter from the password field. That now just works. And with last week's release, account linking has improved. The login screen is now better optimized for adding a new identity to Mozillians, mozillians.org. The IAM project aims to continuously improve the login experience, so please give your feedback in discourse at that link or file an issue in their GitHub repository. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael. All right, and I think that are all of our speakers, but if Steve, anyone else hopped on the schedule, they did not. But we have a handful of introductions. We will start in Berlin, where it looks like we have perhaps more than one. Hello.
Hello, this is Henrik, a remotee. Can you all see me?
Yes, we can. Hi.
Perfect. Hello. Hi. So I want to introduce Florian Merz. He's based out of our Berlin office. I hope we can switch over to the Berlin office. Mm-hmm. Florian is the gentleman in the green T-shirt. He's joining us as an engineer in the Open Innovation team and will help us to productize our open source experiments and also help us on our foundational initiatives like IAM and COS. So thanks a lot, and it's really exciting to have another person who has a long-standing community background to come and join our staff, and that's just great. Thank you very much, and welcome, Florian.
Welcome. And real quick, we'll do the other Berlin intro while we are on camera there, and then we'll jump to Mountain View.
Using limited space here, so I'm Georg Fritsche. I'm the manager of the Firefox telemetry team, and today I want to welcome Jan-Erik Rediger, who's joining our telemetry team as a software engineer. He also comes from a community background. He's been around as a tech speaker for a while and doing coaching training for Rust, so we're glad to have him.
Very cool. Welcome on board officially. Hello. And now we have an intro here in Mountain View.
Hello, I am Katie Parlante, and I manage the data engineering team, and I'd like to introduce Andreas Kamaszewski, and he is joining, he's a data engineer working with the data platform team. He'll be reporting to Mark Reed and helping out with all the data platform things. So, thanks.
And with that, I think we are all wrapped up for this week. Thank you, everyone, for who presented. Thanks to everyone who's contributing to the project, and I hope everyone goes out and keeps on rocking the free web. Have a good week.